boy C-Zar, and we are talking Bitcoin Cash, BCH, USD. It is the 26th day of July. Here we are about $212 with roughly 3 hours, 20 minutes left in this day, left in this week. Shout out to the Dragon Rider, shout out to the House of the Dragon. Hit that like button. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the price action. We have pulled back, and this pullback was more or less to be expected. We've gone a little bit lower than I was expecting it to go, but this is still within the realm of expectations. Going down to the golden ratio, $204 to $199. We could see that. That's possible. Bitcoin Cash does this weird thing where it doesn't find support at the 0.5, it doesn't find support at the ratio, it finds support somewhere in between. That is kind of like a Bitcoin Cash thing for whatever reason, and we're there now, so it is possible we do find support in this area. We're moving down, and as we're moving down, volume is moving up. That's encouraging. It makes me think that we can move back up. This does kind of have that bull flag look. Maybe not a bull flag, but still definitely the stronger move is to the upside, the weaker move is to the downside. Volume is dying off as we're coming down, so I would expect that we do bounce and we do move higher. But does that happen from here? Do we move lower first? Time will tell. We will know soon enough. Okay. I think it's important to note that we are kind of at a critical moment for Bitcoin Cash where things could get worse if we don't act appropriately. Finding resistance here at prior support, at prior resistance, it's not a good look. It's really not a good look here. And for all intents and purposes, it does seem as though we are rejecting that level right now. I wouldn't say this is a rejection formally until we are below this low. For right now, it could just be resistance and we come back up. Maybe we are just finding resistance here and then eventually we break through. That's great. That's fine. That's okay. If we reject this, we do see a lower low. That could cause significantly lower prices to come through. When I say significantly lower, I don't mean below 100, maybe, but more like, something that's around 140, maybe 114, something that's that low. Maybe something that's, I would think, closer to this 140 area. Prior resistance becomes support here. But still, it wouldn't be ideal. It wouldn't be ideal. It is possible that we could see a double bottom, and as we've said, since this low happened, we could go over. That's fine if we do and see that slight double bottom. But I think I speak for all the Dragon Riders out there whenever I say we just want to see this thing grow. We want to see it grow. If we find resistance here, that's fine, but we just don't want it to be a harsh rejection. We don't want it to be a springboard of which this bearish move is only just beginning, you know what I mean? That would be problematic, very problematic for Bitcoin Cash. I think it would be more beneficial to avoid going too much further below this low, certainly avoid going below this low, if you want a solid chance of recovery and accumulation here. I think that we are seeing accumulation. I think it's the beginning of that, but again, to validate that, we don't want to exit this range too much. We want to stay in this range and accumulate. Looking at this on the weekly time frame with the indicators, the weekly RSI is pretty bearish. It's pretty bearish, you guys. Being up here rejecting the oversold, and it's not a good look. You look like you want to come down lower. Stochastics rejecting the oversold zone, that's bearish, and MACD bearish. It's not a good sign either. On the right side, if we do see a lower low, and it's not terribly dramatic, we are set up in a position where we could see bullish divergence on the weekly RSI, on the stochastics, and on the MACD, which could likely suggest a pivotal moment in Bitcoin Cash's macro price action. Looking at this here, we are in a bit of a strange dynamic with Bitcoin Cash. We're not really in a bear market, we're just at the aftermath of this massive correction here, this kind of dramatic drop, man. I mean, we expected that we'd come down to about 250. I didn't think we'd go this low, but I didn't think that this would happen so fast. I thought this would take like months, by the end of the year. Something like maybe this time of the year we'd be finally getting down to this area, but no, we're much lower, and we're still consolidating here. The weekly RSI, the weekly time frame does look weak. Let's look at the short-term stuff and see if there's any positive stuff to go off of. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, the RSI shaking up a little bit, stochastics look decent, and the MACD is crossing through this area. You do look good on the 1 hour, but it's the weekend. We're dealing with very boring sideways price action. Looking good on the 1 hour time frame in an environment like that, it doesn't mean that we do anything exceptional. Maybe we just move up and then we move down. So sure, we might move up from here, sure, we might break out of this, but how much further do we go? I mean, we can stop at 215, 218, we're up to together now. It's nothing too exciting. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, the RSI here, it's pretty bearish. session, as intense as it was, it really didn't bring me too much lower than these lows here. Kind of interesting. And then what about this? Again, from the low to the high, where are you? You're right there. You're right in this area where we like to find support. And maybe go a little bit lower first, but I mean, here, there, wherever. I think a good goal to have in mind would be to get rid of this red line here, the 236. Getting above prior resistance, prior support, getting above 230, let's say $233 is vital right now for Bitcoin Cash. We need to hop on the green dragon, we need to see that thing break through this red line here, and if we can do that, the statistical probability that we see higher highs and not lower lows goes up dramatically, goes down dramatically. So, we're going to get about $233, okay? That's the goal in mind there. Yes, daily time frame, stochastics are oversold, MACD is rejecting the zero. For rejecting the zero, you're not seeing anything too crazy. This seems like a pretty tame consolidation phase. Volatility, sure, there's some volatility, but it doesn't look bad. You're ready to reset on your oscillators, on your stochastics. Your RSI is at an area you do typically like to find support. Doesn't look too bad. The 4 hour is the only one that I have a problem with, and even that's not too bad. If we are to move up from a high to a low, the price that I would expect us to go to would be about $300 or more. It's very common with the 318 to wick just above it, so probably something just above $300, where we found support, found resistance and resistance before. Makes sense. Something just above $300, that'd be my expectation. Perhaps we go there, we find some resistance, we come back down, we experience more volatility, we continue to work our way up. Perhaps we go there, find resistance, and we come back down, and we are again reaching this overall cumulative zone. We start to do stuff like this, but at the bottom, time will tell. But I'm optimistic here. I just wanted to make you guys aware of this potential bearish scenario and the things that we want to avoid, okay? The things that we need to see to add the probability that we are avoiding those things. Primarily, we need to get above $233. We can do that on a daily quarterly basis. I think we're good. I think we're in good shape. I've got nothing else. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all.